Guys, did you know that my favorite hormone, testosterone, starts to decrease about the age of 30, and production continues to drop about 1% per year? That's why our friends at Roman have formulated their own supplements with transparent and scientifically backed ingredients to support testosterone production. Roman's testosterone supplement is for anyone who wants to support their own body's natural function. Getting started is simple. Just go to GetRoman.com/Chael. That's GetRoman.com/Chael. You're going to get $15 off your first order, guaranteed free 2-day shipping. That's GetRoman.com/Chael. Guys, the timeline on this matters, and if you're a new fan or somehow you've been sleeping on this one, you might have missed something really great here. Paulo Costa becomes the #1 contender, defeating Yoel Romero in what was declared beforehand a #1 contenders match. It's an absolute war. It's back and forth. It's controversial. I believe it was a split decision. I mean, this thing was great. But Paulo won. He goes on. He's going to fight the winner of Adesanya versus Whitaker. So before they even established who the winner was, Paulo took the driver's seat, which generally doesn't happen for a #1 contender. So it was a little bit of a unique spot, but it was also special and it was also fun. Adesanya comes out on top. Adesanya points him to the front row where Costa was sitting, calls him out, Costa steps, boom, we're off to the races. Well, all the while, Paulo's dealing with some kind of an injury to his arm. And he never said anything to anybody. I got to visit with him. I talked to him. He never said anything. A week later, he goes under the knife and has surgery, which means he can't make the date. Now, I still don't know the backstory on that. If he was thinking, yeah, I got this surgery, but it's minor. We'll push the fight out. I'll still be ready. I don't know what he was thinking. He just never said anything. He accepted the #1 contendership, tried to sign a bout agreement, tried to make this thing official. Oh, and by the way, went and had a surgery. Okay, that's the backstory, but here's where things get good. Because Adesanya has to stay busy and because you have to get on with the division, Yoel Romero gets inserted, becomes the new #1 contender and title challenger, okay? Now, he and Izzy are about to figure things out. Those boys are going to go under the unified rules this Saturday, but in the meanwhile, Costa didn't look like the fact that he was getting passed over. Even though it is very clearly and unequivocally been stated he is still the #1 contender in the same. Now we're just going to have Romero versus Izzy. Whoever comes on that out of that goes and fights Paulo. Paulo didn't like how this sounded. So he contacts Dana White and informs Dana, it's a miracle, but I'm healed. Dana says, I need to hear it from a doctor. Now, I remember when Dana made this statement, I was a little bit confused. You need to hear it from a doctor? Paula just told you. He would have got that from a doctor. He's not trying to fight while he's hurt. Well, turned out Dana's spidey senses were correct because what comes out this morning, Dana finds out that Paulo is still hurt. He's not ready to return. And he teamed up with some buddy who may or may not have a medical degree, was posing as a doctor. Perhaps the guy is a doctor, but it was a friend of posing as a doctor. Calls the UFC and says, oh yeah, he's ready to fight. Let's go. And Dana's like, nah, something still seems off here. You're going to come out. You're going to meet with my doctors. And if they approve you, okay, great. We're off to the races. Otherwise, we're sticking with the X. I think it was 11 months he was going to be out. If I'm wrong, it was 8 months, but we're going to stick with that plan. You're not coming to me with a new plan. Something just seems off. I thought that was a little bit overcautious, by Dana. Nope. Turned out Dana was spot on. Turns out Paulo is still hurt, and then Dana wasn't mad. There's a few ways to piss him off. Lying to him is the top of that list. But because Paulo lied in a way that would not help or advantage him, it was a disadvantage to him. He was lying to get a fight of which he will be in a diminished capacity. Dana respected it. In fact, the very story I just told you, which is a quote and me parroting of Dana telling the story, Dana was laughing. He even used the word, I respect it. He's a tough guy. He's a competitor. He wants to compete. My job is to keep him safe. I would like it if that was both of our jobs, but I've been doing this long enough to know that it's mine. Caught him, busted. Call me when you're actually ready. Interesting story, and I do tend to side with Dana. Paulo wasn't trying to pull a caper to gain something. It would have hurt him. He would have been at a disadvantage. He wanted to do it anyway. I mean, we have something very special going on right now, particularly at that division. And that division is taking cues from the top, which is Adesanya. Adesanya just went on a media tour lying about how much he weighs, trying to get a fight with John Jones. He's trying to get the hardest fights he can as often as he can. This is not something that generally a champion does. But it is something that a role model would do. It is somebody that you would look up to and aspire to be like is doing. It's somebody that's the leader and the champion in that division. It's what he's doing. And now we're starting to see the other boys fall into line here. I could just tell you as a viewer and a fan, it's refreshing.